Hello to my Cancers. All right, Cancer. This video is for May 6th through June 6th, right? So we are hours away from closing out a cycle, right? But we're feeling the effects of the new moon phase, the new moon in Taurus. Taurus is ruled by Venus. Venus is the planet of love, pleasure, art, music, aesthetics. It also rules Libra as well. The point is that you're no longer going to do an injustice to yourselves when it comes to creating a life on both sides of your life, in your personal and your professional life. So let's get into it. So any emotional attachments connected to something where you're carrying other people's green with envy, disrupting your peace in some way, shape, form, or fashion, you're ready to cut ties with it, right? Doesn't always mean you're cutting people off, but you're cutting ties with the emotion attached to anything that's making you feel bad, feeling sad. So it doesn't always mean like you're cutting people off or cutting things off, or you may not be ready to cut your job off or cut a friendship off or cut a romantic relationship or something else, but the emotional attachment to it that could be slowing you down and you weighing that thing down, sometimes it takes care of itself. Sometimes people cut you off. So let's get into it. Let's get into it. Keep your vibrations high. The next cycle of full moon is going to be on March 23rd, and it's going to be a full moon in Sagittarius, and it's a flower moon. So how are you blooming? How are you blooming? That's going to be your overarching theme for this next cycle coming up, which we're already feeling the effects of the new moon already. So what does a new blossomed Cancer look like? Let's get it. Pluto is retrograde. Pluto is the planet of obsession. It's the planet of death, rebirth, it's the planet of death, rebirth, power, transformation. It's a regenerative planet. It's also the planet of obsession, metamorphosis, right? So as you're growing, as your flower is starting to bloom and you're creating a life that you're like, oh my God, I love this life for myself. Make sure that as you are closing out cycles, other people's obsession is not pulling you back, right? Let's do it. Knight of Swords. That's the first card out of the deck. So this is a person who is focused. Like, okay, I'm cutting ties with anything that's going to cause me to cry, be sad. Here's the Seven of Cups here. Here's also the Ace of Cups here. You've already moved on from the death to some disappointment, because into you, here we have, this is what you desire. You desire peace and harmony within your family, but you first have to have peace and harmony within yourself. That's first and foremost. You have to be at peace with being able to stay focused, even though those are energies that you may have over nurtured. And somehow they've got this a codependency at this point, whether it's codependency on part of your check is going to them, or you're helping them to create and you feel like it's a weak link in the chain. Whatever it is, you've been over pouring into it. So it's to say your emotional intelligence is going to give you an opportunity to put a manhole cover over the past. That you is gone. Cut ties. You said, I'm cutting the emotional attachment of it all. And so, like I said before, sometimes that looks like people make up a reason or excuse, people, places, and things make up a reason or excuse to cut you off. Either or, you're at peace with it. That's where you are. You are at peace with something. So congratulations to you for, like I said, restoring the peace within yourself. You want balance and peace within yourself. You cannot be an over nurturer. You cannot be an over nurturer of something that, even if you feel like, okay, even if you feel like you're head and heart are at war with each other, the only person that can save you is you. If you're looking for a knight in shining armor, sometimes people are looking for somebody to cut them off, cuss them out, go off on them, fire them, whatever. It's no more reason for you to be in misery anymore. Let's keep it moving forward. Hermit card. Here we also have the Knight of Swords. Here we also have the Ace of Wands, the Five of Wands, the Six of Swords, and also the Chariot card. Guess who's rewarding you? Source is actually rewarding you for when you meticulously look at all that you've poured into energies. That's why you don't have to feel bad. This is the I feel bad. This is the I analyze sign. When you analyze how much you've poured into people in your personal and professional life, and the fact that now you're saving some for yourself, if that causes people to remember, ice is a form of water, and that caused them to be icy towards you. So as I said, it's not a David and Goliath situation where you're going to warm up to that anymore. You've already said, nope, The ice on your heart, the ice, you know, the ice, like you said before, you may have already cried about it. And so you may have been near a beach. It doesn't really matter who it is. You may have shed a tear, cried about it, or whatever, but you won't be crying anymore. It's not a David and Goliath situation. I feel like there's some energies that's trying to pull you backwards, you know, just by saying that they were in a situation. This could be an ex. It says they were in a situation they just couldn't get out of. It was insurmountable, and they want to kind of pick back up where y'all left off. That is a no, because that's the whole purpose. They could have opened up and shared something with you, but they didn't. So here we also have the Knight of Swords here. So it's just saying, as far as two types of situations are concerned, See, people are starting to analyze some things now and just recognize just how much you poured into them, right? Just how attractive they are to your nurturing spirit. I keep trying to tell y'all, if you're new to my channel, welcome, Cancers. If you're coming back, welcome back. I keep trying to tell people Cancers are the mother of the zodiac. I'm talking to men and women. Cancers, a lot of people don't know what clear water nurturing looks like until they come across a high vibrating Cancer. Especially if they've been around energy vampires their whole lives and they've been manipulated, where people are using them to make them laugh or, you know, pay their bills and giving them this false sense of empowerment, and then they come across a real nurturer, you. Now all of a sudden people got their brains together, and now all of a sudden they've cut some ties with some people. They focused more than ever so before, and now they want to come back after you cried about it. It's a no sir and a no ma'am. That ship has already sailed. Here we have the Six of Swords. Yep. Because and guess what? You're letting it rest in peace. You're finally getting your rest over it. Here we have the Ace of Wands. Your third eye is wide open. Some people are just going to have to, and you're back in the saddle again. Some people are just going to have to recognize that they're going to have to consider how much you pour into people, how nurturing you are, how funny you are. You know, water signs are, y'all are very funny. Y'all are very nurturing, very caring, you know, emotional. But see, people try to put a negative spin on it. I'm talking to my high vibrating energies and the ones that are learning how to fill up your cup of water, even right now when you watch this video, is you have something that people need. Our bodies are made up of a large percentage of water. So there's a lot of people that will come to water signs, especially the mother of the zodiac, and want to be nurtured. They're spirit fed. You know exactly what to say. You know the feelings to tap into. You know all of those things to nurture people. But sometimes people don't miss their water until you finish the rest, right? The well runs dry, or at least they think the well runs dry, right? When you can help them find the water within themselves, like that living water within themselves. And so they have no choice but to find it now, because your water supply is for you and for anybody that, like I said, you are no longer tossing your pearls before swine, meaning you're not going to keep proving to people how kind, how much of a sweetheart you are, how funny you are, you know, how nice you are. So I definitely feel like it could have been insurmountable for them, but it's not insurmountable for you. You moved on. So I feel like somebody's gonna get married, but again, you're also analyzing, just moving for you, a lot more meticulous and saying, okay, before you can show people compassion, but you know what I'm picking up on for somebody. What I'm picking up on is like you're a person that like really no respecter of person, so it gives people this mixed signal. You know, like some people who are thirsty themselves, you know, like if you're walking down the street and somebody speaks to you and you speak back and you're not stuck up like the majority of other people walk by, that you speak back, and people take that as an invitation to come running across the street to strike up another conversation. No, hold on, cowpoke. I just said hi back. That's it. Don't take it too far. Or if you say, you know, you give them a compliment, they looking through wedding magazines. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like they just take stuff too far. So Source is saying to you, you have learned how to move on and stay away from those types of energies. People who are like impulsive, they jump to stuff just because you're the person. Clean water, fresh water, Cancer, you know, was just kind to somebody, and they just taking stuff way too far. So yeah, so let's see what else we got going on. Here we have the Sun card. Here we also have have the Eight of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles. Here we have the Seven of Wands. We have the Six of Cups and also the Three of Pentacles. So yeah, so here we go. We have the Sun card. You operating in your light. Where are you operating in your light? So you operating in your purpose is very attractive to people. You pick up on people's, when you operating in your purpose and you know your birth sign, your birth chart very well. You know how to analyze people. You also know how to pick up on where their cracks are in their foundation to make them feel better. You know just what to say to make them feel better. And so some people become obsessed over that because they feel like you manipulated their emotions when really you were just being obedient to what Source was telling you that they needed in their spirit. But yeah, again, obsession is never a good thing. So I definitely feel like you and somebody coming together, building a very rich legacy together. And everything is coming together for you all, you and your person. Some people still see kindness as a weakness. You can't smile at some people without them assuming the worst. Like it's something else out of balance with them. If you just can't be a high vibrating person that's operating in your purpose where people now, they don't know how to take a message, right? So Source needs you to move on, like I said, in childlike faith. That's right. Move on in childlike faith. Yeah. There's definitely, it's two types of situations in particular that's definitely tempting, as far as you're concerned. And so Source is saying stop replaying the past over and over and over again and sit down and meditate. See yourself on the other side of something. Meditate and contemplate moving forward, putting a manhole cover over the past. Past could have been 5 days ago, whatever, 5 minutes before you watch the video, but you are blossoming into this person who is, like I said, not overdoing it to a point where people are like craving you. They're craving your laughter. Like they can't go a day without you making them smile or making them laugh. After a while, that gets to be draining. It does. It really gets to be draining. Especially when you realize that if you're not calling them or you're not pouring into them, they don't even call to check to see how you're doing or how you feel or if you need anything. So Source is saying to you, yeah, it's time to move on. It's time for you to move on. So, yep. Let's see what else we have. After carefully analyzing some situations, we're definitely moving forward. So, yeah, no more karmic relationships for you. No more karmic relationships, right? You're wise enough to know when Source is breaking karmic bonds in personal and professional life. This would be doing an injustice to yourself to even keep replaying the past over and over and listening to the same songs y'all used to listen to, going to some of the same places that y'all used to go to. You just need a break. Like you need a break. You need to cut ties and stop replaying the same broken record over and over and over again. So yeah, whoever it is, somebody knows exactly how to manipulate your emotions. Yeah, somebody knows how to manipulate, or at least they thought they know how to manipulate your emotions. But some people are in for a rude awakening because Source is actually breaking karmic ties. So here we have the Six of Wands. Here you are back in the saddle again. Like I said before, you're back in a saddle, and the two types of situations in particular, you're not carrying that burden with you anymore. You're definitely not carrying the burden with you. You are, like I said, there's some energies that want to reach out to you. They really, really want to have a conversation with you. They want to tell you that they had a David and Goliath situation going on that they just could not wrap their head around. And if you haven't already gotten phone calls and text messages, you may be having dreams and downloads alerting you to maybe they're going through some things or whatever the case may be. But Source is saying, do yourself a favor and just be strong. Don't reach out. Pray for them. That's the best thing you can do is pray for whoever. Just pray for them that they get clarity in their lives, but you're already moved on. That ship has already sailed. You've already started. Movement is happening. You moved on from the disappointment. So, yeah, and like I said, everything is lining up perfectly for you. Somebody has new and exuberant love coming across their path. Somebody could also be getting married. Like I said, married. Somebody has somebody could be moving. You got a lot of things going on. This is nice. You have a lot of things going on here. You and somebody will be building a very rich legacy together if you're not already with your person. You could already be married to your person. Here we also have the Seven of Cups. I feel like you were dealing with an energy. Yeah, the Seven of Cups came 3 times, right? Came out 3 times. somebody you could have been dealing with could have some kind of an addiction where they easily get like incubus or succubus addiction. Like they easily are, they could be a person that's in a very powerful position where they got so much distractions going on around them. And powerful doesn't mean that they necessarily rich, right? They could have a lot of people pulling for their joy and their happiness. They could have a lot of kids or some kids, or they could be in a position where people look up to them. They could have a lot of things going on in their lives. In either case, sources saying you would find yourself smack dab in the middle of an energy vampire situation. And you're wise enough to know that. And that's why you're putting a manhole cover over the past. In other words, they got too many toxic attachments. And that's not something you desire, peace and harmony, not toxic attachments, if that makes any sense to somebody. So, again, you being that hermit, going back in your hermit crab shell, could you imagine them bringing all of those demons across your portal, across your front door, when you worked so hard to create a peaceful life for yourself? Next thing you know, you're seeing all kinds of spirits in your house. You're seeing after they've left and dropped off all those spirits. A lot of people, that's why a lot of people get their homes blessed when they first buy homes, because you don't know what spirits were in your house. Some of y'all may even remember growing up, if your parents bought their first house, and just like having nightmares, and you may not even remember. You could have been sleepwalking, all kinds of stuff, because you didn't even realize nobody came and blessed the house. Nobody came and did a complete deep spiritual cleansing of the house. People just move into the house. All kinds of spirits are left. There's this show that used to come on that was like the Twilight Zone. It was called Believe It or Not. I don't know if it was Ripley's Believe It or Not, but it was like one of those shows. And there's this episode where this lady was saying, this every couple that came to look at the house, they had these nightmares that there was energies that was telling them to get out of the house. Until this one lady, so this lady and her husband saw this other couple looking at the house, and one of the ladies was like, "That's the lady that I keep seeing in my dream." Like, and so people were looking at her like, "What you said?" You kept like, "Yeah, I kept having a nightmare. I kept seeing this lady telling me to get out of her house," and that was the lady I saw in the dream, because the lady knew how to spiritually leave her body and get everybody out of the house, scare people to get them out of the house so that the house belonged to them. So every time somebody wanted to buy the house, this lady knew how to get out of, like spiritually haunt people until nobody wanted the house, because the house was there. They ended up getting the house. That is very, very real. People are able to do those things. And so sources saying, imagine you being a homebody and that's your superpower. You being a crab. You like going in your shell when you feel like, okay, you need to retreat, when you feel like you're not in safe spaces. And imagine being with somebody who they cannot control all the toxic energies around them, and you can't sleep, and you can't figure out why you keep having nightmares and daydreams and night dreams and deja vu and seeing things. You feel like you're going crazy. You feel like you need to drink or be on medication because you can't figure out what kind of spirits people bringing in the house. So source is saying to you, once you've done a deep cleansing, it makes sense when you let one person at a time come in your house, and you start to feel, how do you feel when they leave? You almost feel like you want to get rid of everything that's connected to them, but you like, oh my God, they brought a different entity in here. You saging, cleansing, praying in your house, doing all kinds of rituals and stuff to get that energy out of your house, opening up windows, and then after a while, it's gone. And you like, okay, I can't let that energy back in my house again. They got too many spirits on them. And they may not even recognize it. So it could be anybody. So like I said before, when you ask God to break karmic cycles, don't you go back and reconnect with karmic cycles. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself, because again, everything is lining up perfectly for you, both in your personal and your professional life. What you desire in your personal and professional life is teamwork. That's what you desire, for things to flow easily. So even in your romantic settings, sources say don't put yourself in situations where you're forcing yourself to date, going out on dates, going online, doing all that. If it's better for you to join social groups, volunteer. and doing the things that you love to do, because it'll be easier for you to meet your person. Plus, people are, people will get used to seeing you volunteering. So if they see a pattern of behavior because you're doing some things that you're passionate about doing, Cancer, guess what? On the rare occasion you don't show up, people going to be calling and checking on you because you're doing something you love to do, operating in your purpose, right? So yeah, if you're volunteering, even if you're, whatever it is you're doing, whatever kind of business you're doing, people will know, okay, something is different in their lives, because people they say, okay, they love your attitude, you're operating in your purpose. That's how you're going to meet your person, if that's what you desire. Here we have the Seven of Swords here. So, yeah. Yep. Yeah, so it's two types of situations, like I said, you were already moving on from. And so sources say the 4 and 7 is 11. 11 is a master number. So this is where you got to be more strategic now that you're moving forward from this. Because people are so attracted to your water, they're so attracted to your nurturing spirit. So if you're putting stuff on social media, with all of these tools that you can set timers, you can do this and that to upload, your content or whatever, wherever y'all are on TikTok, X, whatever you on. Sources saying you can do things to be more strategic on your journey versus, people knowing your every move. And so I definitely see sources actually rewarding you for moving on from karmic relationships, because there are definitely some energies that are watching every little thing that you do. So source is going to make sure you're booked and busy and not burdened at all, right? Justice and judgment are both in your favor, and I see it's a major win for you, because source is saying you moving on from those types of energies, like I said, just adjust your crown. People hold you in very high regard. They see you as down to earth and relatable. And the last thing you need is to be emotionally drained and come across as moody and angry and upset because you're not going along with source's flow. So adjust your crown. Like I said, you desire teamwork in your personal and your professional life. So cycle close. That's right, fulfilled. That's right. This connects us with the world card. This is fulfillment, right? You're not looking for any kind of recognition from anybody. You're not looking for, oh, you're a good person. You're so funny. You're so sweet and kind and nice. That would be the world card in reverse. You're awaiting some kind of recognition, right? Sources say something is already fulfilled. You already feel fulfilled. You feel whole and complete inside. So why would you dump somebody else's incubus or succubus spirits or whatever other kind of demons of fear, doubt, uncertainty, them not wanting to detach from toxic friendships and toxic this and toxic? Why would you want to add that to your life? So I definitely see you saying, nah, I'm good. Let's see what else we got going on here, and we're gonna go ahead and close this out. So yeah, this is good. This is real good, Cancer. That's how you're blossoming. You're doing what you love to do. For those of you all who say, I don't want to do online dating, you don't have to do online dating. It'll come to you. You just have to ask source for clarity when it comes to you, because it's in a forceful environment. You won't even feel like it's forced. It's like it just flows. Everything just flows. So that's what I'm seeing for you all. And I do see somebody getting married, but you got to be more meticulous and more strategic about stuff. So when you're praying, while you're doing what you're doing, also pray that somebody is, that they are not a showboat type of energy, that they're private, that they'll protect your privacy and those kind of things. And there's little things at a time that you can do to test them as well. Share a little tiny bit of information at a time. See how they deal with that information. Some people, you tell them anything, like you got short fingernails, and they'll go share that with the whole world based on how people already see you. They already see like I said, they're not no privacy whatsoever, because they so used to being people pleasers that they certainly would not protect your relationship. So I definitely see, first and foremost, source is going to make sure you booked and busy. Your third eye is definitely open, and the closer and closer you get to your prayers being answered, to be in these spaces, several things that you want to connect with, just for those of you all who are really in that open to dating and stuff. You don't want people who are going to compare you to other people. This is not a beauty pageant or a Mr. Universe or Miss Universe pageant, right? You don't want somebody they're satisfied with they really appreciate what you bring to the table, right? They appreciate the fact that you're a homebody. You appreciate the fact that they are whatever they're. You know the list to put together. You put your own list together. This is a general reading. You put your own list together. But I definitely feel like Source is telling you to stay away from them. Just stay away from them. Stay as far away from them as fast as you can, because they're at the Five of Wands, making up excuses for why things are not going well for them. Source is saying you stay far away from them, because I'm gonna keep you booked and busy, so you don't have any time to talk to them anyway. It's nothing for you. For you, it's nothing to talk about, because they will completely ruin your reputation. They will completely ruin your reputation. But they're spending a whole lot of time thinking about you right now, and but they still tied to wanting other people's acceptance and wanting other people's approval. You're not interested. So thanks, Source, for what I say. They're succubus. Yeah, yeah. Angel Uriel, the prophecy, the angel and prophecy of wisdom, is with you. It's time to start dating again for somebody. Treat yourself to a spa day. Step through your portal. Move on in peace and silence. Because again, they're watching every little thing that you do. You deserve the best. Pray and meditate. Take your time to decide. That's right. Make room for a new blessing coming into your life. Get locked in and laser focused. Don't give yourself a headache over this. Don't give yourself a headache over it at all. Sometimes you don't know that somebody is not your person until you don't know. Until you know. You're like, oh wow, okay, I thought this was something different. I guess it's not, right? I guess it's not what I thought it was, right? So it looks like some people it doesn't blend with you, Cancer, because you're a person who really is a homebody, right? And you love, like, you created your house the way that you wanted to create your house. You're not just inviting anybody to your house and inviting all these spirits through that front door, your portal. You're not just talking to just any old body on the phone. You've actually created a life for yourself. You learn how to control your emotions, control your water. So, but every time you look back and you go, gosh, when I allow other people to, shape and guide my emotions, it did look like you were all over the place, water spilling out all over the place. So Source is saying, make room for a new blessing to come into your life, but don't give yourself a headache over this at all. You don't even have to stress over this. All you have to do is look back at your past and just draw from that past karmic relationships, karmic ties. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully it makes sense. Yeah, I'm wishing you all a great week. Nothing will come of this situation. That's right. So nothing will come of the situation just means that if you don't do something about it, then nothing will come of the situation. Like I said before, if you desire some kind of change, first and foremost, put the work in. Don't just let that sit in your water. Journal out whatever you want. Write out what type of energy you want. Nothing is going to come of it if you're just sitting there just like, okay, I'm just open to dating again. I'm open to love again. Open. Okay, so anybody can come in. There has to be some kind of structure in place. And that's what Source is trying to tell somebody, is like, you've already done some injustices to yourselves in the past, right? And this right here, this Judgment card coming out, letting me know there's some people that are obsessed with you. So it's not open to dating anything, right? It's not open to just being in any kind of friendship circles, business related. You're not just open. Everything needs to be carefully vetted. That's what Source is trying to tell you, is like everything, so that you're not confused all over the place. Everything. Source is actually rewarding you for taking the high road. Source is actually rewarding you for, your efforts are being rewarded. You're victorious. But see, when the Chariot card in reverse would be, lack of control. Like your water is all over the place. And that's, like I said before, that's what got you connected with low vibrating energies. Then every time a fork was in the road, you didn't know which way to take, just confused, because you recognize people who are in their David and Goliath situations and feel like they got to stay connected to certain people, places, and things, but you're not letting that in your house. You're not letting that in your front door. So the answer for that is no. So it's time to take action. That's right. It's time to take action, to assert yourselves. Like I said, the moon is in Aries. When the moon moves into Aries, that's when you said, I'm taking off that ring of resentment from the past, of just, like being confused and allowing other people to bully you, to, project their low vibration and narcissistic energies onto you. You said, I'm flushing all of that out. I'm crystal clear now, right? So that's what I see for you all. Like I said, it's time to take action. This card wants to pop out, and the Magician card. Yeah, these two cards. Like I said before, you can defend your decision to move on without even coming across as defensive. So it's just saying, get as far away from them energies as fast as you possibly can. Yeah. Because these energies right here, like I said before, you got 6. Yeah, you got 6. So you're back in the saddle when it comes to 2 types of situations here, right? You're saying it's not your duty and responsibility to hold on to that. You got new and exuberant love coming across your path. You've already envisioned it, and you got very clear messages that came through. It's actually what people don't say, right? You hear what people are saying, but it's something that people don't say because it's just how they feel, how you feel. Sometimes you feel drained when you get off the phone with certain energies. Sometimes when they've left your house, you feel like you itching for real. Like you feel like, okay, they dropped off some spirits. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you had a dog that had like a lot of ticks or fleas or whatever, all of a sudden you start seeing, stuff, or pets or whatever they have, and I mean like the bugs or something. It's like you pick up their spirit. Like when you've done the work to flush out your spirit, every time you look back, that's what I said, that's how you were able to get to the King of Cups. When you look back and go, wow, I desire to. Somebody really sacrificed themselves just to be connected to energies that kept comparing you to other people. Not anymore. Earth worship. You're not even asking yourself why anymore. Until my body is in your arms, I will worship you, dear Earth Mother of mine. That's right. Somebody's like, listen. Somebody is living a good life here on planet Earth, and who you associate with and be connected to, when them different spirits and stuff, you're like, nope. Protecting my energy. So yeah. Yep. So you're definitely not looking for people's acceptance and approval. So things are coming together for you and other people. You'll see. Here we have Soul Baby. Yeah. You're creating a whole new contract with your inner child. It's a soul contract with your inner child. Basically, you're saying, I'll never leave you nor forsake you. I will never not listen to my inner child. So if my inner child feels like, okay, something doesn't feel good about this, or you feel like it's dirty, because there's nothing wrong with sex and money and wanting nice things, but if something in your spirit feels like, okay, this feels dirty, something about this feels confusing to me, that's when you're saying, okay, I need clarity here. I need complete and total clarity. I don't want to be confused, right? And so that's where I feel like you are. And like I said, adjust your crown. Adjust your crown, adjust your crown, adjust your crown. Yeah. There's a lot of energies that's outside of your vault door, right now, but you're not giving it any more time. None whatsoever. You're just moving forward. So let's see what your number is, and let's see what your number is, and then the last affirmation card, and let's close it out. See what your number is, and last affirmation card, and let's close it out. 27, I am expressive. So this lets me know too that number 9, 2 and 7, 9, that you're moving on. Here we have, your mind is wide open and you are tolerant and compassionate towards all ways of life. You value freedom of expression and you want to improve the conditions of people, whether in your community, country, or the world at large. 27, 2 and 7 is 9. 9 is the death rebirth number. Something has ended so that you can move forward. If you got to be in spaces where you feel like you're confused, or you've invited some company into your house and you feel like, oh my God, this is beyond me cleaning dishes and vacuuming and cleaning. It's like it's another spirit that's been left in here. Yeah. Move on. Affirmations for kindness. I'm full of loving kindness. I'm full of goodwill towards those around me. I am surrounded by warmth. I embrace all wholehearted kindness. I am grateful for generosity shared by others. My smile can make someone's day. I allow the kindness in my heart to run free. Yeah, I allow the kindness in my heart to run free. So yeah. That's what I'm saying for you. You and somebody, like I said, have very differing, views on relationships with other people, right? They thrive being in toxic situations because it's again, it just it actually it causes them, it like causes some friction to rise up in their spirit. You're not interested in that. Like some of your exes right now, they cannot detach from their ex because they thrive in those spaces of just wanting somebody to pour some attention into them. Some of your managers on your, if you remember some of the managers in your job, they like all that chaos and commotion going on because they can't think straight. They like to, as long as people are kissing up to them, y'all know the type. Anyway, that's what I'm saying for you all. Um, Here are the questions for the moon and Aries for those of you all who like the questions. First question is, are you struggling with low self-worth? Second question is, are you procrastinating, perhaps stuck in a relationship or situation at home or at work that you're not happy with? The third question is, are you repressing your emotions and feelings and consequently feeling resentful? Fourth question is, are you holding yourself back, paralyzed in unconscious fear that stops you from taking the leap into the unknown? And then last but not least is, if you had known that you're fully supported, what would you do? If you had known that you were fully supported, what would you do? That's very, very important because like I said before, you are very clear now on like not allowing other people to shape and guide your emotions, your intuition, your feelings, your subconscious habits, your moods, unless it's for the better, not for the worst. So I do see somebody meeting new and exuberant love. I see you being booked and busy. I see you increasing your prayer and meditation life. I just see a lot of blessings coming across your path, and this is how you're blossoming. You're saying, I am going to pour into me. I'm moving on from this. People who you feel like are holding on to all of these secrets, or they feel like you holding on to a bunch of secrets. You're moving on from all of that, and just grateful that karmic relationships are broken. So even when you watch this video, the new moon doesn't start until the 7th of May. So you can still say, Source, thank you for breaking karmic ties. And just let the chips fall where they may. Well, I'm going with your flow, Source. So thank you for breaking all karmic ties. That's what I have for you. I'll see you all in the next reading. Bye.